is big. Boy, that's a big piece of pottery. That's about as big a piece as I've ever found. That's a big one. Out of the ground here. People who used to live in this pit house spot. I don't know who that is, or what that is, but I've come out today to check out a few more LiDAR holes. Well, I expect these waypoints I marked to show pit house remnants just like the ones I saw in the last couple of videos I posted. Only walking short distances today. This area, and then I'll drive a few miles to another area where there's, I think the second area has a lot more waypoints marked. Only about a half a dozen for this one. Approaching the first waypoint I marked, this area's gotten a little humpy due to, probably due to the creeks. This is it over here, fenced off. Maybe it's a mine shaft. Oh, yeah, it seems to be something like that. So that is not a pit house. Big chunk of choyas here. Nasty things. You know, I've been dealing with choya for a long time, for years. I don't think I've ever had one this persistent. It keeps going from one hand to the other. I've got out my scissors to cut it off, and it still manages to stick to the other hand. But I think I almost got it off. You can see all the ones I cut. I'll have to pull them out. Man, that was no fun. But interestingly, just as I turned around and stood up, I see the first piece of pottery right behind me, right here. Just simple plain ware. I'm getting near where I marked about five in a row near a wash. We'll see if they're real or not. Uh-oh, this looks like it could just be a bunch of stream stuff, making stuff that looks like holes. I think this is one of the spots I've marked over here. That's just a stream. Yeah, I got a feeling this whole area is. Probably no pit houses here. No pottery. I saw that one piece a little ways back, but if we're in an area where people were living, I'm expecting to see more. So I got a feeling these are all going to be false alarms. Not seeing pottery. That airplane is still circling me. I guess he's just out doing practice runs. Stopped previously at another spot. Walked in there, and one of them was a mine shaft or mine pit. Looked like a round hole on the LiDAR, and the others were just features made by a meandering creek. I, of course, have been scanning the desert, quite a large area, and there aren't as many as I was hoping there'd be. But it's an area where there's quite a few of them. I'm not aware of any known archaeological site around here. No platform mound this time. Just a bunch of suspicious looking holes. Go see if they're pit houses. Well, the first one I had marked is right around here. Well, there's some pottery. How about that? Probably not a coincidence. First pottery I've noticed at the first thing I think might be a pit house. I don't know, there's little undulations here. I need to look at my GPS and see. Oh, I can't see that. It's shows two of them that I'm near. I guess I had this marked. This is a little bit of a low spot here. And I guess this is a low spot. Maybe this is what we're calling a pithouse bottom right here, if, as judged by LiDAR, and at least with some partial support from the pottery that's showing up. Now about 20 feet from those ones I was just at, you see the pottery here. Again, like the other ones, these would probably be late Hohokam. So pottery's not painted. But you know, I'm sure archaeologists know about this spot. It's not one I've ever run across on anything. But I would say that's what we are. And we may have a bunch of them around here that I've marked anyway. A bunch of them marked off this way now. Let's go see what we see there. Just walking past a big midden here. These things, if you're not familiar with them, they can be very old. Archaeologists actually dig them out sometimes because the pack rats pick up artifacts and take them to them. But I'm not going to dig around in that. It's too spiky. I already had a run-in with a choya today. A couple I want to go to are just on the other side of this fence. But then there's a few more after that that may be on this side. So I'll walk down here, try to minimize my fence crossings. So here's one I marked. It's a bit messy with the stuff growing in it. Looks like it's had a little erosion. There is pottery around it. Another one I'd marked is just on the other side of the fence, right over there. It's got a lot of growth in it. A little bit problematic looking at these. Staying on this side of the fence for the time being. There's pottery around here, quite a lot. And this is the low spot I had marked here. Again, likely pithouse bottom. All this pottery right here. And lots of pottery. Piece under here looks all interesting. I don't know if that's intentional coloring or not. There's really a lot of pottery around this one. It's really surrounded by it. It all looks similar. Bigger piece over here. And this is one right next door. So I think no more than, I don't know, 10, 20 feet between the two. You can see how deep it is. There's a nice palo verde growing out of it. Little hump, maybe a trash mound, pottery there. That one here, and this one over here. A few of the ones I had marked are on the other side of this fence. You know, that's probably private property. There's some houses not too far away. So I don't know if I'll go over there. I think they're similar to the ones over here, of course. Lots of pottery right here along the fence. Folks on the other side got pit house remnants in their backyards. I think I've got a few more on this side of the fence, though, up ahead. Here's one. That is certainly a man-made hole, and although maybe it's a little small for a pit bottom, a little short, but look at all the pottery here. So I don't think there's much doubt that that's what this is. Yeah, really a lot right here. Quite well. Nothing to indicate that people have piled this up. It's just that dense. Yep, I'd say the whole comm lived here 700 years ago. Well, I sat down to have a snack here next to this one. I noticed this piece of pottery sort of half buried. Looks pretty big. I may try to get that one out. Hope I do better than I did on the one last week. See, I'm just sitting amongst the pottery. I'll have to try to be a little gentle with that. Well, it's looking pretty big. I'll keep being careful with it. Well, it's moving a little bit, so I'll videotape the reveal, assuming it is big. Boy, that's a big piece of pottery. That's about as big a piece as I've ever found. Yep, people were living here, and they had big vessels. Well, I cleaned it up a little bit. That's a big one. Out of the ground here. People who used to live in this pit house spot. I'll put it under a tree, try to keep, I don't know if they got cows here or not, but try to keep a cow from stepping on it. Somebody else can find it and get a kick out of it. All right, moving along. Just, again, showing you some of all the pottery that's here, right in this one spot. Maybe they were clumsy with their dishes. I don't know. This looks like another one right here. I haven't even checked to see if I had it marked or not, but that's exactly the right shape. I don't know whether this is pretty close to a small pit house village, I would say. I'll have to count up how many things I had marked. There's the other one just over here. But my guess is I marked around 25. We'll see. I'll put the number in the video so you can see it. One more marked up heading back toward the fence. I don't know which side it'll be on. There's probably, again, I'll have to count them up. There may be 10 or 12 on the other side of the fence that we're just going to skip as, not a good idea to go on over there. Probably private property, even though it's not marked in any way. But too close to those houses, and I doubt if they're any different than what we're seeing here. I think maybe this is what I'd marked as this last one. Yeah, it's certainly built up. It's an edge around it, about the right size. Again, given the context of everything else around this is probably also a pit house remnant. Perhaps more convincing looking at it from this side as I look back at it. Yeah, it certainly looks like the other ones. And the pottery's right here. Well, that's all the stuff I had marked. I stumbled across something on the way. Relatively short walk back to the car. A little bit of a funny trip today, just a couple short things to satisfy my curiosity about some things I could see and wanted to check out. Happy to have found some more pit houses in an area that's unknown to me as a low-com area. Probably known to archaeologists, most certainly. Probably a little easier to find using LiDAR, which I'm sure they didn't have at the time they were doing their surveys. Well, that's going to be a little bit easier. I can get under that one without even crawling.